And welcome to the Trinidad Tobago Golf Championships 2023, the TNT Open hosted by the TTGA. We are here this afternoon at this wonderful golf course. It's at St. Andrew's Golf Club in Mocha Maraval here in Trinidad, one of the best and most premium golf courses here in Trinidad. And this afternoon we're looking down hole number 1, where we have a full field of 141 players taking part in this annual tournament. And the player there, he's just waiting on the group in front to go ahead before he tees off. And in this tournament we have different categories taking part, with the super seniors, the masters, the first flight, second flight, championships, and the third flight players. It's a very, very competitive field, and it's something that the local golfers look forward to, and we have also a host of regional and international golfers as well as participating, making the occasion very auspicious. And just looking down at hole number 1, just about 2:19 p.m. here in Trinidad and Tobago, and that's a bad shot straight down the fairway. And as we know, here at Mocha, it's a bit to the left, but it's, from all reports so far, speaking to some of the players, it hasn't been that easy. The greens here at Mocha has always been a very competitive green to play on, and I think the players' feedback so far is that it's a very enjoyable day, enjoyable competition here on this day 3. But it's been challenging on the green, like any good tournament should be. Can't be a walk in the park. So we're looking forward to some more competitive golf, and just as we watch this group that tees off, we'll be reviewing some of the scores for the different categories shortly. And this one goes off a bit to the right, but not a bad shot at all. And I think the players themselves, they seem to be pretty excited about going into day 4, and it's going to be a tense time this afternoon, because with the results being showed on the live leaderboard and being published, you're going to be able to follow the action live on the leaderboard and the live scoring. And we'd like to mention the Trinidad Tobago Mortgage Finance Company Limited, the main sponsor for this live stream and live scoring, adding a bit of technology to this tournament. And they've been very instrumental in putting together this package so that we can reach out to the audience and reach out to the members of the other golf clubs locally and regionally and internationally as well. And definitely a very good partnership with the TTGA to make this possible. A tournament of this caliber definitely needs to have the sponsors on board to make it all possible. And what I think is one of the biggest wins for the TTG and the sponsors as well is that in this tournament we have a numerous youth golfers that have been doing extremely well at the local and regional level. And I think that it's really about them. It's about their future in golf and keeping the game of golf alive. And definitely is something that if they've enjoyed. We've spoken to many of them over the last couple of days, and they've really enjoyed playing in this tournament. And we'll be looking on the stream there. That's green number 9 here at St. Andrew's Golf Club. And very shortly we'll be getting the names of some of the players. So we can probably just look at the scorecard and just review some of the scores of the players so far. And in the first flight, which is one of the most competitive flights in this tournament, we have the leader at this point in time, Kavesh Ramnath, on 235 shots over the last 3 days, and he's at plus 19. Asarup Chand at 247 points or shots at plus 31, and Robert Farnham at 229 shots at plus 33, but still to complete a few holes. Dushan Sukram at 232 at plus 36, still to complete a few holes as well. So it's turned out to be a very competitive day. And we can look at the second flight. The second flight groupings We have Larry Flores after completing 13 holes on 233, but when we complete the 18 we'll get a better update there. Nanlal Ramlakan at 16. At 252 shots at a plus 44. And just looking back there at green number 9, a slow roll up the hill to that pin. And you know, we've seen, being here last year, we did notice how challenging these greens were, and it was amazing to hear the comments of the players. You know, it reminded us of a PGA course, because the greens makes it very, very difficult sometimes to finish. It kind of plays on your ego a bit. You know, the fairways sometimes play so beautifully, and then coming around the green, it becomes very challenging getting onto the green and then finishing the green. Speaking to players again, they've been saying it took about 3 shots to putt out, and making it a bit difficult. But again, that's golf, and for those of you listening and viewing on, I'm sure you all know how challenging golf could be. A lifelong game, as we say. And there we see, the camera view there is on fairway number 18, coming up to that shot that takes them on to that challenging number 18 green to finish their day of golf, that they have to go across that gully or that ravine. And it's always a psychological factor when we are finishing that last hole. So we're looking on here again, and just now we'll be shortly be getting the groupings. A very nice easy chip there, and the cameraman will pick up the ball shortly to see where it landed, if it did make it onto the green. But again, a very, very challenging hole there at number 18, and makes it a bit difficult and plays psychologically on us when we are playing this course. And we're back here at number 9 green, looking on to see how the battle is going to end with this downhill slope. And we're getting a very good view, and a simple tap and a rolling, and he looks so relieved. That looks like Mr. Tajilal Sarwan playing in this grouping. And a very simple tap in there again to finish off that number 9 green. As we await the players moving off the green, we can just mention some of the It's a wonderful occasion and getting the stream and the scores out to you. So we're looking here back at hole number 1, taking a little practice swing before they go out. And very good shot, a slight fade, and I think that's one of the approach on hole number 1 is to just get a gentle fade going down the middle of the fairway. And we're looking here at this group coming over fairway number 18. Looks like Shane Costello there. And that player's behind the trees. I don't think our cameras can see through the trees, so we'll wait for them to clear. But we're looking at also on hole number 9, where we get a better view. That's a group with Jasim Budram, Alex Kangu, Luke De Freitas. They're taking part in a championship division, and they've been just applauding there. And a very, very good shot there to finish that hole. And back on fairway number 18. Addressing the ball. And it did seem as Jasim Budram hold out there from just off the green. Very good shot there. Very nice swing here by seems to be a bit disappointed where the ball would have ended up, and he's begging the ball to hang right. But that's a game of golf. He takes an X ball, so looks as though he has to hit again. Looks like Luke De Freitas chipping on to green number 9. It's a few feet away, and we can see the movement of the green. And the group in here with young Alex Kangu in all black. Should be a very competitive finish for this grouping. And taking all back to fairway number 9. Just to look at his, sorry, fairway number 18. Looking at his shot there. Lines up again. He has to hit over. And gets a hand off the club. Probably didn't feel too right, but again, it's been a difficult 3 days here at St. Andrews. Very exciting golf, and there's young Alex Kangu putting, trying to get it in there. And presently, Alex Kangu, he's in 14th position with 162 shots. We'll be getting his card shortly to update the score on this day 3. Looking here at Luke De Freitas, trying to pot out here to finish up this grouping on hole number 9, and he's very happy with that. Possibly a par there. And we see Alex finishing off now. Don't want to miss these short pots, it can cost you the game. And it's something on these greens, you really have to take your time. You can't rush the shot. You really have to prepare yourself mentally and make sure your body is in a very good and stable position before you address the ball. And his caddy, Mr. Richie Kangu, is main supporter. Looking down here at hole number one as well. This group going to tee off shortly. Again, hits it a bit to the right, but in the fairway. And here we see that group with the two youngsters, Jasim Budram on the left for the black cap, Luke De Freitas and Alex Kangu to the back. Very competitive group. And we get in their scores shortly. They'll be submitting their scores coming off that front 9. So coming behind that group will be picking up with the group with Irfan Imamali, Anthony Spallone, Aidan Ali, and again two youngsters here that's been doing extremely well in Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. Aidan Ali and Irfan Imamali, and 1 year off the other very good players, Anthony Spallone. I'm just taking a view there of the St. Andrews Golf Club, where the players, after finishing their day's golf, are just resting and recuperating and enjoying the beautiful weather and the conditions here at this lovely golf course. And we see that group there coming up on hole number 9 shortly. And this group, as I mentioned, Irfan Imamali, Anthony Spallone, and Aidan Ali. Aidan Ali, one of the recent Open champions here in Trinidad, played extremely good golf as one of the junior golfers. And shortly behind them will be the leader, Chris Richards Jr., Zico Correa, Liam Bryden, within the next, probably within the next hour. And it's always a wonderful sight if you look down the fairway and see these competitive golfers being followed by their caddies, their parents, their supporters. It's a very, very thrilling and exciting atmosphere here, and for those who listen on to the stream and those who play golf would understand how exciting this could be. The Trinidad Tobago Open here at St. Andrews Golf Club. Just taking a quick peek here at number 18 green. And coming on after a long day, we'll be finishing up shortly this group. And number 18 green here is such a challenging green to finish off. It's a bit of an uphill from right to left, and the pin position always makes it even more thrilling to play and to finish here. A very, very exciting green to finish on here at the St. Andrews Golf Club. And we can see here from the putting stance how much focus and stability is required to make sure you get that last few feet or few inches correctly. Right, and we're here back at number 9 with Mr. Aidan Ali, the youngster, playing out of Pointe-a-Pierre Golf Club. His approach shot to the green, and usually plays very well around the green, and seems a bit disappointed. And you know, when you play at this level, you really want to finish strongly to get those scores as low as possible. That looks like Mr. Anthony Spallone. And there we see Mr. Irfan Imamli now steps up to his ball to address it and takes his practice swing. One of the youngsters here playing out of the Millennium Golf Club. And always require a very high level of concentration to finish this game strongly. So he looks up to the heavens, looks a bit disappointed. Hopefully it's not too bad. And we'll be getting their scores shortly as they come in to finishing the 9. They'll be submitting their scores. And this group here with Shane Costello, Maurice Ford and Kimani Thomas, they'll be teeing off on the front 9. So they started at the back 9 today, and they'll be finishing a bit late this afternoon. And some practice swings there before they finish up, or tee off for that matter. So they're off down the fairway hole in fairway number 1, and you'll be seeing again finishing off a bit late today. As we look at the group with Jasim Budram and Alex Kangu walking up after teeing off on hole number 10, and we'll be getting their scores shortly since they just submitted to the live scoring team. So just looking at some scores here from the other categories who finished their 18 holes for today and completing their, well, in this case the Super Senior Day 2, sorry, Day 1. Richard Lara, he's on 1. And here we have the youngster, Mr. Ross Ramkisoon, just coming back on to the commentary. Behind the tree, he's one of the young golfers attending Aprima College in Form 4, and he's staring through the tree, probably trying to figure out which direction to go. And it's going to be a very tricky shot. He's probably just to the right of it, and definitely something that you have to play safe in this game. Not something you want to rush by and end up in a worse off situation. And just chips it out, and his caddy, Mr. Dravid Bim, also assisting him. And there we have Mr. Irfan Imamali going to tee off on hole number 10. Very nice smooth swing. Seems to have tapped the ground in a bit of disappointment, looking around that bend for the where the ball would have gone. And we have Mr. Aidan Ali there. He's going to tee off. So very beautiful swing there and stance by Aidan Ali, making him one of the better junior golfers here in Trinidad and Tobago. Seems to be satisfied with that shot. And Mr. Anthony Spallone, I believe, yes, Mr. Anthony Spallone, he'll be stepping up to the tee box on number 10. And shortly we'll be going back to the group Coming up, number 18. And we'll be picking up the action here on green number 9. And I believe that group will be Romanius Inglis, Is Hustler, and Jessel Mohammed. Some really competitive fields here, and very competitive categories. And a bunker shot there, trying to get it on, and will be seen shortly. Not a bad shot, getting it as close as he could to the pin. Taking in the action there on green number 18. Not a bad shot, but ran the green a bit. And we have that group there with Charles Rock Blake, William Jacobson, and Ross Ramkisoon. Finishing up their 18. And just looking at Jessel Mohammed lining up for his spot. A very good golf coach as well here in Trinidad and Tobago. Good. And just tapping out to finish number 9. And coming up behind this group on hole number 9 would be Ross Cabral, Gabriel Vanosot or Vanososte, Xavier Wiggins. Please forgive my pronunciation with these names. And we'll be getting their scores shortly when they complete the 9. And just looking at some of the scores in the Super Senior category, Mr. Richard Lara finishing his 18-1, finishing today at 157. Richard Camacho 159, John Holly 160, John Hale 163, Carlos Beckles 167. I'm going back there at green number 18 to finish off the day. In the frame, 2 youngsters, Ross Ramkisoon and Dravid Bim, and the player just pushing the ball from off the green, trying to pick up the slope and get it into the hole, but not today. It's been a very challenging day on that green, and we remember very clearly, even from the 2022 Golf Championships, it's been a difficult green number 18. And top scene there. And there we see young Ross Ramkisoon. He'll be addressing the ball and trying to make this good. A very, very, very good soft hands by young Ross Ramkisoon. Very steady player, and his caddy, Mr. Dravid Bim, a very, very good golfer as well. Just drifts. It looks like it drifts just to the right of the hole, and probably will just tap in again. And reading those greens has always been proven to be very difficult. Again, the talk around talking around the golf course that the greens have been difficult. And looking at the group here now, coming up on green on fairway number 18. Just want to get the names: O'Shea Hay, Javon Andrews, and Terry Verdant. They'll be coming up shortly on number 18. And a very good opportunity now to mention the looking here at this group coming up on number 18. That's the group with O'Shea Hay, Javon Andrews, and Terry Verdant approaching the gully or the ravine, trying to get it over onto the green. As we look at the players walking up on fairway number 9, and that's the group with Ross Cabral, Gabriel Vanosot, and Xavier Wiggins. And shortly we'll be seeing another group head into the tee box on number 9 to finish off there, to start the last 9 of their day's play. And he's hitting from just on fairway number 1, getting it back onto number 9, and a very stiff punch onto the green that runs across the green there. And was very quick as well, but it's safe, not a bad comeback there. My apologies, that was hole number 9 I was commentating on. And we have the group there with O'Shea Hay, Javon Andrews, and Terry Verdant on the green on number 18. Finishing their first 9. They've started on the back 9 this afternoon and will be heading on to Here we have young Ross Ramke soon taking his lining up for his tee shot there on hole number 1 to start his second 9 hole of the day. He would have started on the back 9, and the sun is just out in all its glory. A very, very good strike of ball. What a beautiful shot down the middle of the fairway as that stray dog just walks across the fairway. I guess I don't know if it's a pet or one of the pets around the golf course, but just as Ross hit, this dog just walks across, and now his comrade steps up to the tee box and he addresses the ball to the right of the tee box, probably playing a slight draw, and settles down. And gets a slight fade off to the right. I think he'll be pleased with that shot still within the fairway. And they head off now. Looking back at this group on green number 18, running the ball up the hill. What a difficult green to play on, especially if you're down there the bottom of the green and have to push that ball up. That's the group at O'Shea Hay, Jevon Andrews and Terry Verdant. Very, very difficult. And for those of you who have played here at Mocha, you would know the challenging and yet exciting opportunity here it is to play at St. Andrews Golf Club, especially in a very competitive environment like this. Makes it all the way more exciting. Just in front of the commentary booth, we've seen the match officials on their golf carts driving around. And this player here, he has to come back down onto the pin from the top of the hill. And you know, hole number 18 here at Mocha it's fun. You know, you have to come over the ravine, then you have to go up the green, and then if you overshoot the green, you end up down a hill that you have to come back onto the green. So it really is a test of your skill, how soft your hands can be, how much spin you can get on the ball, and what control you have on the putter. It's a combination of all these factors, and it's a very big psychological test when you go up onto the green. So a slight uphill putt for this player here. Pushes it uphill. And we'd just like to mention some of the comments here on the YouTube. Want to welcome Mr. Kurt Limmer, one of our members of the stream team, who's here with us. Working very hard to get the live scores out and the stream out as well. Welcome, Kurt. Been with us for the last few days, and glad to hear Miss Camille Rupnarayan is locked onto the stream, and Miss Vindra Danraj, another good female golfer here in Trinidad and Tobago. Thanks for your comments. You can post your comments on YouTube on the stream. And this group coming up here on Fairway number 18. I believe it's a group with Ben Fitzwilliam, Marcus Ling, and Arnold Johnson. And very shortly on hole number 9, green number 9, we should be joined by the champion Chris Richards Jr., Zico Correa. Zico Correa, another fantastic golfer who played in the Latin American Championships recently, doing extremely well as a youth golfer here in Trinidad and Tobago, winning many titles. And he'll be coming up shortly. And one of the other top players in Trinidad, Liam Bryden. So a big group there, Chris Richards Jr., Zico Correa, and Liam Bryden will be coming up shortly on green number 9. And just to take a sneak peek at someone just practicing their putting on the practice green. A very steady punch. Again, the disappointing looks and movements by the golfers after they hit. On number 18 there, that's a group with Arnold Johnson, Marcus Ling, and Ben Fitzwilliam. And we'd like to mention the TTGA, the Trinidad Tobago Golf Association, for making all this possible for their coordination and management of the tournament. You can see the golf cart there with match officials, I believe. So we can just looking at the view there at looking down on hole number 1, we can just mention some of the scores. And I was talking about the super senior category with Richard Lara finishing on 157 shots, Richard Camacho 159, John Holly 160, John Hale 163, Neville Guitois 115. There's some scores that maybe need to be updated as well. Carlos Beckles 167, Lane Pebbles 168, Hollis George 170, Kisun Ganis 170 as well, Sulaiman Juman 172, Raul Fabris 176, Thakur Ramnath 177, Noel Lachman 178. And we can see the player there just dropping the ball just before the ravine or the gully. And I wonder what's going through his mind right now. And I don't know if the viewers can tell us. You're in this situation, finishing off that back 9 here at St. Andrews Golf Club. Your ball is into the ravine. What are you going to do? You have to drop the ball. You have to figure out what's your next shot. Make the best of it. So you really can't think about your score, but you just need to think about the shot just to get it and just to get to finish strongly. You know, it's always about finishing very strongly in golf and looking forward. Not a bad shot at all. A very, very nice soft chip over the ravine. And shortly we'll be seeing where the ball would have landed. Just a quick view there of the activities right in front of the commentary booth. And the caddies working so hard today. Want to shout out all the caddies at the St. Andrews Golf Club. Just picking up the shot there on hole number 18. What an excellent shot there to run it onto the green. And look, just about probably about a foot or a foot and a half just away from the pin. And he'll be very, very pleased with that shot. And probably a bit so ecstatic that he'll be finishing that back nine. So just looking back at the comments, and I did ask, what would you do on the ravine, and you had to drop, and we have a Mr. Matthew Gomez book. He's saying drop 3, hope to hit 4 onto the green, closest to the pin, and 1 putt. So guys, that's the recipe. And Matthew, listen on, you just made my friend Kurt Limmer here laugh, and he says, so that's the recipe, guys. Drop 3, hope to hit 4 onto the green, closest to the pin, and 1 putt. Sounds so easy, but we all know out there it's a different story when we actually out there. So thanks, Matthew, for that comment. Taking you all on to tee box number 10. Player moves up there to address the ball. And that hole number 10, again, it's a very difficult hole. You have to go around the mountain basically. So players tend to play a draw or push it out safely as straight as they can down the fairway. And we can see the antics there by that player. Always fun to watch and makes golf even more interesting when we have the players trying to guide the ball along with their bodies and their hands and their words. And very shortly coming up on hole number 9, the big group with Chris Richard Jr., Zico Correa, and Liam Bryden, sorry. Right, so the big group coming up there on hole number 9, finishing out their front 9, or their first 9 for the day. And just to look over on tee box number 1. Fades a little bit off to the right, but straightens up a bit. Not a bad shot. I think he'll be very happy with that shot, and I think it's a little bit safer going on the right side here at St. Andrews. Sometimes you go over to the left, there's a wall, there's a building over the left that will make it a bit more difficult to get it back on. I've noticed the players, they are actually addressing the ball to the right of the marker, tee box marker. What a great shot there, straight down the middle of the fairway, and I think he'll be very pleased with that. Looked very powerful as well. As we move over to number 9 green, and we can see the group there. That's Chris Richards Jr., the leader, the champion in the middle of the green there, and Zico Correa, one of the two of the most outstanding golfers. They represented Trinidad Tobago at the Latin America Championships this year, and doing extremely well on the local circuit, and also world ranked players, and they're good friends as well, but on the day of competition obviously playing for that prize. And what's a very, very good encouraging thing about the TNT Open, it's a world ranked tournament over 4 days, and the players will be getting points to move up in their rankings, which I think is invaluable to the to the golfers. So definitely something to look forward to in playing this tournament. Thank you, Matthew Gomez Book. Your comments are much appreciated. Making Kurt smile here. And those locked onto the stream, you all can share the link to your friends, your colleagues, just to get the word out that the TNT Open is on. It's the second to last day, with tomorrow being the final day, and we should be joined again tomorrow in the afternoon from about 2 p.m. for the live stream. And here we have the group at Zico Correa. The crowd is blocking them, so we can't really see who's there, but that's Zico, I believe. Yes, he's addressing the ball behind the cards. And Liam Bryden, another very outstanding golfer over the years here in Trinidad and Tobago. All three doing extremely well, representing their country. And I believe Zico is just... it's difficult to see at the camera angle, but we can see it here from the booth. He's addressing the ball now and going to get it on as close as he can to the flag. Taking his time. Don't want to make any mistakes on the screen, and that's a good thing about these top players. You know, they are patient in their game. They are patient in their stroke play. There's no need to rush. Golf is a game of patience, and to do well, you really have to contain your emotions. You have to contain your strength and really get there close as possible to that hole. There we have Chris Richards Jr. in the frame, and I think it's an honor for those individuals following this group, because definitely you can learn a lot just by looking at Chris Richards Jr. and Zico and Liam play. They've been such excellent golfers over the years, and he's taken his time there again to address the ball, look at the green carefully, not rushing the shot. And I believe we on the other camera will be shortly seeing the other group coming up on hole number 18. Taking it back to finish off with Chris Jr. He's taking his time. Want to ensure that this one can go in. So they finish off that hole number 9, and shortly we'll be getting their scores. The live score will be updated, and Chris Richards Jr., he was in the lead. For that time. So we see in the group there with Chris Richards Jr., Zico Correa, and Liam Bryden walking off on green number 9, and they'll be going on to the back 9 to start their second part of their day's play. And again, some of the top golfers here in Trinidad and Tobago finishing that front nine. You see young Jada Charles also in the frame. Celine Manpool. Madison Davis. And Mr. Chris Richards Sr. caddying for his son today. Two of the top golfers, both junior and senior, in Trinidad and Tobago. Looking over at green number 18. And I believe that group is with Dinesh Jackery, Zandre Roy, and Denville Phillip. Finishing up their back nine. And again, these greens have been proven to be such a difficult task, but I'm sure it's one of the most exciting places to play. And we've spoken to many people around and on the golf course today and over the last couple of days, and they've really indicated that playing at St Andrews is a privilege. You know, just being in the environment, and the greens have been the talk of the town. So just looking back here at the tee off for hole number 1. Yeah, and we're looking on there with the group with Marcus Ling, Arnold Johnson, and Ben Fitzwilliam taking their tee off on their second 9 hole for the day. So they started on the back 9 and be finishing off on the front. And there we have the caddy giving him some advice just before he hits. And you know, the work of the caddies are so important here at St Andrews, especially for this 4-day tournament, where it's a very grueling task mentally and physically to keep the golfers in focus. And I think the caddies have a tremendous role in playing this game, and just like what we saw in the previous group with Chris Richards Senior caddying for his son, definitely will make an impact on his game. And Marcus Ling's father is also caddying for him. So that's a good plus. You see the support there from the parents, from their brothers, their sisters, you know, their direct family, and even some coaches as well. We see Ben Caddian and some of the pros who've been around Trinidad and Tobago. So it's an excellent environment for the young golfers coming up. And again, you know, one of the biggest wins for tournaments like this and in all the opens that is played across Trinidad and Tobago is the youth and youth development. Right, so we've been joined in commentary booth with Mr. Krishna Samai, one of the TTGA executive members and also the president of the Bridge Castle Golf Club, one of the better golf courses here in Trinidad and Tobago, located in central Trinidad. And you know, it's always a pleasure to have these experienced administrators with us because they can share a different perspective on the game of golf. And we're just looking on here at, is that hole number 1 our cameraman took us to? I believe it is. And pretty good work there by the cameraman. So welcome, Mr. Krishna Samai.
Hey, thank you for having me.
So, Mr. Samai, what do you think about the tournament so far?
Well, as you know, this is a national tournament. This is a national tournament where we would have a full field of players from not only Trinidad and Tobago, but throughout the Caribbean. We have players from Jamaica, players from St. Lucia, Barbados. We have from some of the other islands, St. Lucia as well. Um, so this tournament oversubscribed, and therefore we had to take out some of our players and give these foreigners an opportunity to play in this tournament so that our local players would have the benefit of playing foreign golfers, right, against foreign golfers. Because when we go out to the national championship, also like the Caribbean championships and so on, we are playing these same players. So it's a plus for our players to compete against them so that they will get the experience.
And I think that's definitely one of the biggest advantages of this level of competition, that competitiveness, and then bringing the foreign expertise to the home soil and making us, we have to improve our game locally, and these are one of the championships that look forward to doing it. And I think you also, raise a very important point about sports tourism.
Yes, for information for all who are listening in, we are hosting the Homan Cup this year. We are hosting the Homan Cup this year, and that tournament will take place in Tobago, and this is the Caribbean Senior Championship of Golf. All right, and we are happy to do that this year, and this is a prelude to our golfers as well, because a lot of them playing here, our national players, are playing so that they could be selected for that championship come in July of this year in Tobago.
So that Caribbean Golf Championships, I believe that is probably what all the Caribbean golfers will be training hard for.
Yes, all the senior golfers in the Caribbean will want to take part in that tournament, and it's usually in July. And this year would be like the first time in about 10 years we were given the opportunity to host this tournament. So it's a real joy for us to have this tournament in our soil, and so that our players will be able to get a feel of home soil advantage, as we would say, and hopefully we would take the championship this year.
And I think that's a very, very optimistic view, because after golf has been so alive in Trinidad and Tobago over the last few years, even during the pandemic. Fortunately, golf was played in a very controlled way, and we see the onset of so many young golfers doing very well, and hopefully they can really put a good show on us, for us all during the Homan Cup, and hopefully, as you said, retain the title or get the title this time. And I really would encourage people who've never played golf to make that time just to go look at it. Have an opportunity to hit a couple balls on the range. There's so many golf courses in Trinidad and Tobago, and I think Mr. Samuel would be the best person to probably talk about some of the golf courses here in Trinidad and Tobago. But just take a try. People look at the game and think it's a old man's game, but I think it's more than that.
Yes, you are quite right. During the pandemic, I must say that golf really grew in Trinidad and Tobago. We have more golfers playing the game, possibly because of the pandemic, because as you said, during the pandemic, golf was possibly one of the few sports that were allowed to play during that period. And we did see an upsurge in number of players come in to play the game, and most of our national team over the last couple of years are primarily made up of our junior golfers, fellas who are under 18. All right, and when you talk about golf courses, as you are aware, this is possibly the premier golf course in Trinidad and Tobago. This is the best golf course we have, and you can see how beautiful this golf course looks. And the greens and the fairways well kept, the trees, everything about this golf course is such beauty. All right, and most of the golf courses are similar, but this is the premier golf course in Trinidad. We have several other golf courses, as you are aware. We have Chagaramas, we would have BC, Pointe-a-Pierre, St. Madeleine, Millennium, and we also have two in Tobago. One is basically not functional at this point in time, but we have the Plantation Golf Course, which is also a top of the line golf course, and that is why we are using that golf course for the Homan Cup come July this year.
Yeah, and I think that setting in Tobago with the as a really a tourist destination will really add a lot of value to the Human Cup and to the visitors to the island, and it's going to bring a lot of business as well. So it's we see where golf has been driving the economy as well and bringing a lot of investments into development, into giving small businesses opportunities to showcase their products and services, and it's really good. You know, promoting these type of events goes a long way to keep the economy going.
Yes, of course. When we look at between St. Andrews and Plantation, we realize that the Plantation golf course lends itself more for tourists because of the amount of hotels around in Tobago. So that indeed it will be a tourist destination for golf. Come for the Homan Cup, a lot of people are going to fly in just to view and support their teams for that tournament. And of course, going far beyond that, people would look at Tobago as a destination to come and have a recreational round of golf in the future.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, and the reverse will also happen. Our local players will also now be more exposed to their friends and comrades up the islands and into other countries. So we now also will begin to plan tours and have a exchange of players and possibly, you know, with that camaraderie taken across the islands, we can also play in the other islands.
Well, as you are aware, in this tournament, we do give most of the golfing fraternity in the Caribbean preference. In fact, we do give them entry into this tournament.
Right.
So the top players are given 2 entries from each of the federation to come to Trinidad and play in this tournament, and we are also given the same opportunity. So in so doing, what you are saying is correct, that we are getting all our players to play among the best players throughout the Caribbean.
Yeah, I did notice that over the last couple of years where you have the private tournaments and even the opens, say like the BC Open, and they would be given the opportunity to go and play at different locations, at different islands. Just checking out the action here on hole number 1. And an excellent shot down there, down the fairway. Hangs a bit off to the left, probably with a slight draw, just picking up the wind. So, Mr. Samai, we really appreciate you joining us here at the commentary booth, and definitely tomorrow you can join us again or later today.
All right, thank you for having me, and I want to say that so far I'm seeing a lot of good golfers playing today, and they are enjoying the good weather out there. The golf course is really playing really well. Thank you for having me.
All right, thanks, Mr. Samai, and we'll see you again. So, looking back there at hole number 1, with this group here going down the front 9. So we've been joined here at the commentary booth by Mr. Sean Green, who's the general manager at the St. Andrews Golf Club. And I think so far the comments here around the golf course over the last few days is they're only exemplary. And I think kudos must be given to the general manager and his team at the St. Andrews Golf Club. So welcome, Mr. Sean Green.
Thank you. I'd like to first of all thank my team and also thank the Trinidad Golf Association for bringing the Trinidad Open, the 115th Trinidad Open, to St. Andrews once again. But yeah, so far it has been good. I hope that we bring the tournament back again next year for the 116th, where we make it bigger and better.
Yeah, I think the golf course is such good condition that it is difficult to turn away from St. Andrews, and I think that is the comments by everyone. And earlier today we were walking around and just talking to the golfers, and they really enjoy the greens here. And I'm tempted to ask you, what is the secret of the greens at St. Andrews?
Well, we can't give away the secret, but we were preparing for the Open, so we began preparations for the Open in just about end of November.
Right.
But of course, in Trinidad we have a big rainy season, so we were able to get everything organized for December, and then we got going in January, February, and now we're here and ready to rock and roll for everybody.
Yeah, and I think it's been a fantastic 3 days so far, and it's sizing up to be a grand finale tomorrow. And you know, we've done last year when we were here doing the streaming, we really had a really enjoyable time looking at the putting, especially on hole number 18. So obviously there's some trick on that green that we're still trying to solve, but I think the golfers, you know, it as difficult as it is, people just keep reminding themselves that it's so much fun coming over the ravine or the gully and then onto the green. So again, your crew have done a fantastic job. But what about St. Andrews Golf Club? You know, so much has been happening here with youth development, with the national players, a lot of them playing here, coaching, your programs. You want to tell us a little bit more about it?
Right, so what we've been spending a lot of time with Trinidad Golf Association and trying to work with them to really give back to Trinidad Golf and really to allow the national players to have the freedom to play here. What we've done is so the likes of Zico Carrero, Liam Bryden, and Chris Richards Jr., they're all in the final group here today. They're all a part of our membership. And we continue to make them a part of our membership in any way we can. But yeah, what we do is that we invest in golf. We have a junior clinic that runs on a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. All right, and then we do a junior medal where we invite juniors from other clubs as well to come up and play. And then, you know, one of our biggest mandates for the year is junior golf.
Right, and I think that's a really, really good thing that we've seen recently. Even our team here at Novel Sports, we've been active with at Pointe-a-Pierre, at St. Madeleine, and you know, we see that junior medal picking up, and we see that exchange of golfers from different parts of the country. I think that is a great achievement for Trinidad Tobago Golf and by extension the TTGA. And that is, I think, what is going to build the game, you know, and do definitely the juniors are the future. And as you did mention, Chris Richards Jr. is a phenomenal player. Zico Carrera, phenomenal. They both played at the Latin American Championships. And so many junior golfers now are world ranked.
Correct.
And you know, we're looking forward to more 3-day and 4-day tournaments.
Well, I mean, I have been, so I'm from Jamaica, so I came here, you know, for this job. And I've taken some of what we have done in Jamaica,
right,
you know, coupled with my expertise from working in the US, to try and help golf on a whole in Trinidad, not just St. Andrews Golf Club, but golf on a whole. So I think that the direction of the Trinidad Golf Association now is you're moving in the right direction. You're seeing the juniors come out. I mean, you've seen the younger players start to emerge themselves. Now it's just to really mesh it all together, and then you'll never know what will happen going forward.
Yeah, I think that's excellent to see that camaraderie among the Caribbean islands. And I too do have some very interesting stories to share with you with my experience in Jamaica. I wasn't with golf, but I was playing cricket.
Okay,
so
okay.
We'll talk about that after.
Well, I used to play cricket, so
right.
we can have that conversation after.
Yeah, we can. Probably we played against one another in Jamaica.
Correct. Very, very possibly.
Yeah. So I mean, golf is a growing game in the Caribbean. You know, we see a lot of it happening in Puerto Rico, in Dominican Republic, and some of the northern islands. But in Trinidad, Barbados, and there's even a golf course in Guyana, St. Lucia. They're very active, and I think most of the countries have representation in this tournament.
Right. I think everybody but Guyana would have representation in the tournament. I'm not sure if they do, but long and short of it is that the representation is very good, and it's good to see all of the Caribbean islands coming together, because the English speaking Barbados, St. Lucia, all of the golf associations to really spend some, really garner some sponsorship and some support from governments that will help to develop the game, because you have players from all walks of life who are ready. I mean, they have the talent, but it's going to take some amount of work.
And I think you mentioned the word investment. So, everything boils down to money. And, in the Caribbean, it's obviously challenging with the economies and the how the economy has been affected globally. So definitely it's going to take a lot of investment by the corporate entities, as you mentioned, the government agencies, the ministries and so on. But I think if everybody work together, and sometimes if you really put the energy together, it can really get to where it should be. And if it's one thing, the Caribbean is no short of talent. We've seen it in athletics, we've seen it in cricket, we've seen it in football, we've seen so many different sports, and definitely golf is something that could be we could have the next Tiger Woods.
I mean, it's second to none that the Caribbean has talent, right? If you ask me, the Caribbean is probably the most talented. We produce a lot of talented athletes, right? But it comes down to what happens after this point. How do you develop that person after this point? Last year's professional winner Ben Martin is one of the examples. He's could easily be the best professional in the Caribbean or in Central America. But then what happens? Where's the development? Where's the what do we do next? So the togetherness that's coming with the Caribbean Golf Association now, and the English-speaking Caribbean countries being more involved in the Caribbean Golf Association, it will bring that.
So, Mr. Green, I think that it's really good to hear the vision that you've painted. Obviously you have a strong appreciation and passion for golf, and for those of us looking on to the stream and listening, and for those of us who have been to Jamaica, you'd understand what passion is. And I'd probably share a quick story with you, Sean. I was there back in '99 and was sitting in the stadium when Trinidad played Jamaica in that final football encounter.
Correct.
Thank God Trinidad lost, because had we won, I would have probably been.
Well, we are passionate people in Jamaica, and we are passionate about sports.
Definitely.
Like one of the things I can tell you is that, like, to the end of this month is our national track and field high school championships, Our stadium holds 38,000. You can't buy a ticket now.
Wow, amazing. And I was fortunate actually to see it as well. It is an amazing experience. It feels like the Olympics.
Correct.
But it is the Olympics, because those are most of the athletes would go on to the Olympics.
Well, I was speaking about it with a few of the golfers earlier, just up on the patio there, and we're talking about sports and the passion for sport. Our prep school championships, track and field championships. And I said track and field because you can tell with Jamaica, that's one of the sports that we invest in, and then you see the results. So that's why I say investment in sport. You will see the results. So they invest in track and field. Prep school championships, you'll have 10,000 people in the national stadium.
Amazing.
And that's 11 and 9-year-olds and 10-year-olds running. You know what I mean? So it comes back down to the investment in it, and then where do we go from there?
Yeah, that's it. And I think that's the cry across the Caribbean. You know, you do well up around age 18, 19 years, and between 19 to adults, you know what's happening. So
and the truth is, the development stage starts earlier, you know, because when they get to 14, 15 is when that talent needs to be harnessed. Not at 18, 19, you know, and that's a mistake that we make in the Caribbean. In the Caribbean, we think that at 19, that's the time that we start to develop that athlete, or no, the development starts before that. You know, I've always spoke about one of my dreams is to have a sports academy in the Caribbean.
Well, I guess we need to talk, because Novel Sports does part of that as well. So we can talk about it.
So we can talk golf here.
Talk about golf. So St. Andrews Golf Club, I mean, it's been not just been a scenic golf course. I remember last year, one of the members did give us a history of the golf club. It's a very historical setting. Many players would have played across from all over the world would have been here. Have there been any recent international stars that have visited the club?
No international stars, but we are our St. Andrews Invitational, which is an open event across the country and across the Caribbean. We are having a professional section in our St. Andrews Invitational, so we will be having up to 20 professionals. You know, some of local pros, Ben Martin, who was a winner of the Trinidad Open last year, and some other professionals from the Caribbean and from the US and the UK. We will be bringing them here for our invitational event, which will be in May. And we'll be pushing. I mean, looking at the sponsor list here in Trinidad for the Trinidad Open, I might need to call the Trinidad Golf Association to give me some help here. But no, but the truth is, it's all for the development in golf, because we're going to have junior clinics, all 3 days for that event. So we're inviting all of the clubs to bring their juniors up to partake in the junior clinics with the professionals. And then when we have the pro-am, we're encouraging 3 teams to have juniors, you know, play with the professionals from other clubs, and then we'll have our St. Andrews team as well.
Yeah, I think that goes a long way. I mean, Ben Martin is a phenomenal player. He was with us last year when we were doing the stream, and he did commentate as well. And I mean, looking at him play last year was fantastic, and his form has been consistent over the last 3 or 4 years. And definitely, you know, if people were to take some time just to look at professionals play, is amazing. The first time I saw a pro play it was just phenomenal, and that is what we want. We want to promote, you know, that aspect of the game, so the youngsters could be inspired. And then too, we have some young amateur golfers in the first flight, in the championship flight. They're also pretty good.
I mean, you have the likes of Chris Richards Jr. He represented Trinidad at the President's Cup this year, which is a big thing. That's a big mark. That's the first time any Caribbean country has been a part of the President's Cup. That's a massive event. He played very well. He came out a winner in all of his 3 matches, which is a match play event. So it's mano a mano. And then he went on to play in the Latin America tour, made the cut. You know, so you see the potential, you see what they can do. But what it is about now is how do we develop? You know, I think the Caribbean should have maybe a Caribbean tour. You know, so there's some amount of inspiration for these players.
Or something to work towards.
Right? But you know, the buck kind of stops here at amateur golf. You know, and then you know, that's why the likes of myself. I played golf. I lost my eye from golf, and I played golf since the age of 10, and represented Jamaica for 12 years. But the buck stops there. You know, after college golf, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of work to still to be done, but you know, it's hopefully we can get it right, and hopefully as we are seeing the cooperation between the entities, the associations. I mean, this year alone we see the Jamaican Association being represented. I think there's the Barbados
The
Association.
Barbados Golf Association,
Right.
St. Lucia is here.
Right.
So that's why you have the President's Cup. I mean, if you look
Right.
at the President's Cup, my members are represented Trinidad. You know, they're ahead, which I'm very proud of.
Right.
Liam Bryden and Chris Richards. I mean, those are two of the guys that I kind of mentor a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very proud of them, you know, and I'm very proud of to see my Jamaica flag here, you know, to see the St. Lucia flag, to see the Bajan flag. You know, St. Kitts is here as well. So I mean, it is something that you can see that cooperation is happening. You know, the Caribbean culture is supporting each other. But you know, to get to the next level, there has to be a little bit more. And you see the corporate companies coming in.
Yeah.
Now it's down to the golf associations. How do we, as the associations, now sell it to the corporate companies that this can be? We can find the next Stephen Ames from
Yes,
this.
for sure.
You know.
You know, and you mentioned that, and I guess TTMF, the Trinidad Tobago Mortgage Finance Company, came on board to make this possible, the live stream and the live scoring, which is a bit of technology.
Yep.
So I think technology and data is important for development.
Well, data is everything in today's world, right? You know, here at the St. Andrews Golf Club, that's one of my biggest mandates is my data collection. So you know, I thank the TTMF and I thank you guys, Novel Sports, for coming on board. I think this is a brilliant setup and a lovely idea. And maybe calling you guys for the invitational, but
Happy to be the editor.
right, right. But no, this is lovely. So like, this is one of my members coming in, Dominic Chateau. He started out leading the first day. See him coming in at 18 here. Right.
Right, so he's in a group with Ivan Codrington and Neil Waterfield.
Correct.
Right, so you know, hopefully they're going to finish strongly, and the scores are updating like believe every 5 or 6 holes. So I think at the end of the day's day today we'll get, or the end of the 9 holes that they finish, we'll get a good update on the scores. Yeah.
Dominic has about 175 coming in. A tough little shot.
Yeah, I think some people, you know, in two minds. Do they cross the gully or do they play it safe? What would you do, Sean?
Well, there's no doubt that I'll be crossing.
Right.
Dominic is begging that one to go.
Yeah.
Could have been shot. Is it shot?
You know, it's
I believe this is Ivan here.
Yeah, it's fantastic to see the antics of the golfers trying to guide the ball in midair.
Correct. And we see it all the time, eh? We all do it.
Yep, we do it. But and it's an important part, you know, to keep your mind focused on the game.
Yep. It's all about the mental in this game.
Looks a good shot there. Just to pick up the ball where it lands, and I think that's a bit tricky. But it's a tree blocking our view, and you can see on hole number 9, I believe that group would be with Newton, Deasley, Carl Atem and Danley Wyke.
Correct.
Yeah, they'll be coming up shortly on green number 9.
And they'll be finishing. That would be one of the groups from the championship flight finishing up.
Right. You know, mention a championship flights. You know, it's a very close battle with the players in the championship flight. But again, it's the players that you think that they will represent Trinidad? Do you think there are players in that group that will go on to play competitively abroad and major tournaments?
I do believe so. I mean, I know for certain that we have a few players here that will represent Trinidad. Chris Richards Jr., Zico Carrera, and also Liam Bryden. They have represented Trinidad in major tournaments, and they will continue to represent Trinidad in major tournaments.
Yeah.
Right. So I do see where these players will do it. And I look forward to seeing the likes of Chris Richards Jr., Zico Carrera, and Liam take it forward and take it to the next level.
Definitely. And I think there are some other juniors too nationally.
Yeah, we have a few juniors nationally. I think Alex Kangu, who is a junior representative, he is also playing in this event, right? And then you have the likes of Irfan
Imamali.
Right, Irfan Imamali and Jeshram Budram. They are also juniors, and I look forward to seeing them press forward and move forward in golf. This is a good test for them this week, and they'll have some more tests coming up. I hope they, and I'm sure I'm going to be inviting them to the St. Andrews Invitational to test them again, right? You know, test them against the best.
Yeah. Can only make them better and make Trinidad and Tobago golf better as well.
Correct.
Right, so Sean Green, it's a it's a privilege to have you here, and hopefully if you have time tomorrow you can join us back on the final day. Thanks very much for passing by and sharing your thoughts on St. Andrews and golf.
Well, thank you guys very much for having me. I'll definitely be joining you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow is the exciting day, you know, watching it finish tomorrow. You know, I hope myself and yourself may be able to sit down and have a better view of what's happening.
Yeah, it's true. We will cut on that one. All right, Sean, thanks again.
All right, thank you.
So bringing the action back here at hole number 18, green number 18, as we heard from the general manager of the St. Andrews Golf Club, Mr. Sean Green. Didn't want to give away the secrets of that challenging green on number 18, but here we see this golfer. He has a uphill putt, trying to roll the ball up, and it's a difficult break, and begging the ball again to break right. It's not going to happen today, and probably another time. But his comrades, they're probably going to try to make it possible. And just want to mention the viewers as well. Mr. Kennedy Lord, the president of the St. Marlin Golf Club here in Trinidad and Tobago, he's locked on. Mr. Ansel Shepard, mentioned he's a 6'2" future golfer, logged in and enjoying the game. And Mr. Riaz Rio Debedin, excellent coverage as usual. Thanks, Mr. Rio. Hope to see you up here playing in one of these tournaments one day. And Pot is rolling the ball a bit short of the green, short of the pin, sorry. And it's going to be a little more difficult. And back here at green number 9, and I believe that's the group with Mr. Dr. Warren Steele, Dave Cameron, and Lawrence Cashew, playing in the seniors category. Right, so we're here at green number 18 with the group Mr. Wayne Batiste, the president of the TTGA, participating as well, Mr. Mark Newham, and Mr. Derek Gonzalez in the seniors category. They'll be finishing up the back 9. And a very, very beautiful day now because the sun has cooled down a bit, and the backdrop of the mountain, such a beautiful sight here in the valley. And there we see the caddy, Mr. Junior Charles, the father of Jada Charles, one of the junior female golfers in Trinidad and Tobago. And he pushes the ball up the green. Again, such a difficult task. And Mr. Wayne Batiste walks to spot his ball there, just to the left of the camera. And he'll be removing the flag now to hopefully make the spot. Puss. And there we see Mr. Wayne Batiste now going to tap in his ball after just barely missing that putt. And Mark Newham and Derek Gonzalez, they finishing up their pots as well. And the caddy, Mr. Charles, giving him some advice, pointing out probably a high spot on that green, and has have to very carefully read his greens to be successful and to finish up strongly. And pushes the ball very firmly inside the hole. I think that's one of the best ways to conquer that green number 18. To be confident, not just to pet the ball around, but just be confident in the shot. And there we see another group coming around the bend there on fairway number 18. That's a group of Justin Jonkri, Naeem Ali and Navin Dukran in the third flight. And we'll be seeing shortly coming up on number 9. Just trying to confirm the names of the players coming up on number 9. It would be Aman Bansal, one of the young golfers from Tobago, Mr. Iva Archie and Munila Lalchan. They'll be coming up on this group here at number 9. Let's get the camera on it. So it's starting back to pick up. It up a little bit busy now after a quiet lull with the teams further out on the golf course. And that's Mr. Aman Bansal, a very young golfer from Tobago, playing in this 4-day tournament. Pushing the ball there firmly onto the green. So the group here on number 18 is that Justin Jonkri, Naeem Ali and Navin Dukran taking their positions to get it over the gully. And a very confident firm shot there. Hopefully we'll make it over. Picking back up here on green number 9. A bit short of the hole, but nevertheless won't be too disappointed that hopefully it should pot out now. And the group here with Aman Bansal, Iva Archie and Munila Lalchan finishing up their front 9. Switching back over to fairway number 18 on that approach shot, a very important shot to finish up the back 9 here at St. Andrews Golf Club. Just looking at Mr. Adam Rambaran, one of the junior golfers as well from Tobago, and plays in Trinidad and both in Trinidad and Tobago. Very good golfer. He's caddying for Aman Bansal today. And the group behind them would be Vinod Maharaj, Stefan Singh, and Anthony Span. And that's a group there with Justin Jonkri, Naim Ali, and Navin Dukran. And we can see Miss Chloe Ajuda is the caddy, one of the top young female golfers in Trinidad, playing a pivotal role here. And the importance of the caddies is very, very significant. And resuming here back at the St. Andrews Golf Club, Mocha, Mr. Tajilal Sarwan just taking the ball over the gully onto the green. And again, becoming a challenge to finish up this back nine here at St. Andrews Golf Club. So while we're waiting here for the golfers to come back to the final green on the front nine, the number 9 green and number 18 green, we could just look at some of the scores. And in the big category, the first flight category, we see Mr. Kavesh Ramnath has taken back the lead after his 18 holes with 235 shots, and Asar Rupchand 247, Robert Farnham 229, but a few shots still to come in on the scorecard. Mr. Dushan Sukram 232, still with a few shots to come on in his scorecard. Brian Faris with 253 shots. Mr. Habi Chekri with 236 from 13 holes, still have a few holes to come in on the scorecard. Mr. Paul Taylor 257 shots on 18 holes. And young Isaiah Rowley, one of the top golfers here in Trinidad and Tobago, he's on 260 shots, and one of the best and upcoming young golfers here as well. So we'll be looking at the scores very shortly. And you know, we did talk earlier about the championship, or the President's Cup, which is a combination or a competition between the players from the different islands. And in the President's Cup, we have the likes of Chris Richards Jr., Liam Bryden, Terry Verdant, Romanios Inglis, Xavier Wiggins, and Romanios Inglis and Terry Verdant from St. Lucia, Xavier Wiggins from Barbados, Zanjay Roy and O'Shea High from Jamaica, Denville Phillip and Charles Rock Blake from St. Kitts, and William Jacobson also from Barbados, and they are competing. And the lead so far with at the front nine, we have Chris Richards Jr. in the lead. So just finishing up that group there on hole number 18, Mr. Tajilal Sarwan, he's putting there. So a very calm and collective person, Mr. Tajilal Sarwan. He is just finishing his his number 18 hole there. So I think he'll be relieved. It's been a long day. And his comrades there, Adam Rostunt and Kennedy Fleming, you know, very, very good golfers as well in their flight. And he's just at the top of the hill there to come back down into into the hole, and let's see a very steady shot, and it is in, and he'll be relieved, raises his hands in joy, and Mr. Kennedy Fleming will now take up his opportunity to try and get this ball to finish off. And we've been joined by Miss Marsha Lebrin. Marsha Leben, sorry. She's the manager of the corporate communications department at the TTMF, our main sponsor. And we'd like to once again just mention, their contribution here for the TT Open with their relationship with the
They seem to be very top of the line to me.
Yeah, I think it's a very mixed feel. This competition, being the biggest one in Trinidad and Tobago, attracts competitive golfers, or what I say is the serious golfers in Trinidad.
Yeah.
Maybe recreational, but they want to play competitively.
Yeah. They're very serious. They're very serious indeed.
So I mean, TTMF has really made a major contribution, and I think what you've seen in front of you with bringing this technology into it is adding us a different level of value to the competition.
We're certainly raising the bar here.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
So, I guess your contribution is significant. Mr. Sean Green, the general manager from St. Andrews Golf Club, was really impressed and really happy to know that you all came on board.
Oh, very nice.
To have that relationship. And again, as you said, it's raising the bar. And what has TTMF been doing as well for the other for golf? Is this the first time you've been involved with golf?
This is really the first time that we are involved in golf so heavily with the TTGA, and we're very happy to work with them, particularly in this amateur tournament, because it's helping to broaden the game of golf. I know that the TTGA wants to expand their reach into the youth, make sure that that it goes far and wide, not just to those who have the opportunity, but to create opportunities for others where they think that it's out of reach, to help them to know that it is not. So they do have a program.
Right, and I think that you mentioned a very key thing there, that these tournaments, one of the biggest benefits is the youth development. And definitely without the sponsorship or without the investment, it's going to be very difficult for youths.
Yeah.
And in this tournament in particular, there are many youths. Some that are doing extremely well, that play for Trinidad and play in the Caribbean. But it's really about development.
Yeah.
So your contribution obviously is going to go a long way.
Yeah, and it's not just for those who are playing now, but for those particularly who think that it is out of their reach. That's really where we want to go, in the schools, in the rural communities as well, to expand the game of golf, because the discipline of golf is what is going to help them through life. So, so that's what we're looking forward to.
Yes, Marsha. So definitely it's something that the contribution is taking it on a more to outreach, and you do see it in this tournament. There are many golfers from all over Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes.
And I think that is really a big win for you all, and even for us to working alongside you all. I think it's been fantastic, and although it was a very short sprint to the finish line, I think it turned out
Don't worry,
very
we
well.
got it done. We got it done.
And competitions bring out the best in players, but it also brings out the best in the corporate support.
Yeah.
And we've really established within a few days a good partnership between TTMF, us Novel Sports, and the TTGA, and as well St. Andrews Golf Club. So that was fantastic, and we've have good comments. You all had visitors visiting you all at your booth, and I think the response has been good. We've had very good comments. Even online, people commenting the fact that it is online, and people who cannot be here physically can look at it. The world is connected.
I certainly want to see more of this kind of scoring and this kind of feed.
Right, and definitely that's the way of the world.
Yeah, it is.
Technology. So, and I'm sure TTMF is also doing their part to promote technology.
Yes, we certainly try.
And this the world of digitization. And
Mm.
we have one of our part sponsors as well, Cyber Safety Team.
Mhm.
One of our partners. They are very integral in making all this happen. so they are cyber security entity. And we are actually working alongside a company, VIPA, who does scoring for the PGA.
Okay.
So it's a big
It's a big, yes, a big enterprise.
big
yeah.
enterprise, and you all have made it possible basically. So thank you all very much.
You're very welcome.
We really appreciate it, and we look forward to working with you all again.
Certainly.
And the support, especially for golf. There's so many junior golfers looking for that exposure.
Yes.
And I know you from corporate communications, marketing. Marketing is critical.
It is.
And we tell athletes, because we do coaching as well, and we tell the young athletes that you have to market yourselves in the right way. You have to put yourself out there on social media in the right way. You have to be professional in what you do. Any advice to the young upcoming athletes?
The game of golf really provides you with that discipline. It's a focused game. So once you put your head in the game, you will get to where you want to go. You have to remain focused. You can't let your peers who are not on the same path with you take you off course. So keep your head down. Keep your head down and keep at it. It is a game of consistency. You have to, you certainly have to keep going.
And what about the marketing part? What would you tell a young athlete? How would they, or how should they market themselves in the international arena?
Well, they'll have to keep playing. They have to play in tournaments, right? So they must be seen. So that is how you get the recognition that you need. So any opportunity to play, that you must take that opportunity so that you can get out there.
Yeah, and then I guess streaming could help, because people will see you abroad and share your feed.
Yeah,
you can look at your skills and so on. So those things do add value in the present game that's so global now.
Yeah. I mean, and once we continue doing this kind of live streaming, people will see you, because you have to be out there. You have to be out there,
Yeah, so Marsha, I really appreciate your time. I know you'll be here for today and tomorrow.
Yes,
right. So you'll obviously have to come in tomorrow again and share some words with us on behalf of the TTMF.
Not a problem.
And really appreciate again the sponsorship that you've brought forward to the tournament and to making this possible. Just starting back here at the TT Open, the group with Alex Kangu coming around the bend on fairway number 18. And he's in the group with, just pulling out their names, Luke De Freitas and Jassim Budram. And he just hit a shot there, and now we have Luke De Freitas getting ready to take the ball, hopefully over the gully. And so that your stance is accurate and your finish is good and very stable. Like that. And there we have in the frame Mr. Jassim Budram and Mr. Alex Kangu on, looks to be on opposite sides of the green, attacking the pin. And again, let's see if the youth expertise can conquer this hole. Just on the edge of the green there, Mr. Kangu's ball. So it has green number 18 continues to be a challenge for all golfers. And hopefully they'll get it right to finish off strongly. And Mr. Jassim Budram, he will be the first to attempt this spot from a distance away, but again it's uphill and hopefully a slight right break, but it's a bit short and it's not going to make it the N1, but at least he's close there enough where he should make it comfortably. And what we've noticed that playing this hole, you have to hit a bit firm to get it into the hole. Seems to be a little the flag seems to be on a little hill, so it has to be hit a bit firm to get it in. And I remember that clearly from last year as well. And it's all about the pin position. And again, the caddy here for Liam Bryden giving him some advice. Let's see if it works. And we've seen that the caddies again playing a very instrumental role in this tournament, assisting the golfers and keeping them focused and taking care of the equipment as well. A very cool evening here at the St. Andrews Golf Club, nestled in the valley at Mukamaraval. And Leon Bryan pushes the ball. Did it fall? We don't know. No, it didn't. Just stopped to the left of the hole. And seeing Mr. Jassim Budram now. A very nice view there by the cameraman. Very good camera work, and he steps up and pushes it into the hole there. I think Jassim is smiling and very happy as that there, congratulating Mr. Jerome Budram, congratulating him on the day's play. Seems to be very pleased with his game today. And Mr. Alex Kangu now steps up to the ball. Hopefully he's going to finish strong as well. Another long day for them. Pushes the ball into the hole. Again, a very nice confident roll. And he's also, his caddy is also his dad, Mr. Richie Kangu. And they're good friends, congratulating one another. And I think that's the camaraderie that the game of golf brings after playing it for the entire day with your friends. You make friends, and you know, it's healthy competition, and that's what sport is about. So behind them we should be seeing another group shortly with, it's going to pull the names, Irfan Imamali, Anthony Spaloon and Aidan Ali. They'll be coming up behind them shortly. So that's Mr. Aidan Ali in the frame, another young golfer here in Trinidad, and his caddy, Mr. Daniel Ali, his brother. Also a young golfer. He looks a bit tired this late in the day. And it's really a test of stamina, 4 days of golf. And he's a very good finisher. Let's see how Aidan does on this hole to finish off strongly. Go up again. And a very good shot there. It's a nice divot, and shortly we'll figure out where the ball would have landed. And now we have young Irfan Imam Ali. He's in the frame. He'll be taking the stance to get the ball out on, hopefully onto the green. Again, after playing for the entire day, he wants to finish this hole very strongly. And you can see the focus that they're putting into the shot to make sure that it lands on the green and punches the ball. Oh no, he holds his head. I believe that ball probably would have gone somewhere that they didn't. It seemed to be a bit of a miss hit, but we'll find out shortly. And don't know, they seem to be enjoying it as well, so hopefully it will end well for them. And looking back here on at hole number 18 to finish up their 18 holes for the day. Anthony Spallone playing in a group with Aidan Ali and Irfan Imam Ali. He has a uphill putt, so often we've seen this throughout the day, and hopefully he'll be very confident in the shot to get it up to the top of the hill and then put it into the hole. And not a bad roll there. I think be happy that it stopped and did not overshoot the hole. And Aidan Ali puts down his ball, getting ready to hopefully give a good putt. Eden Ali having one of us a very good year this year. Probably one of the best forms he's in for a while, and doing extremely well. And following this group, we'll be seeing Romanius Ingles, Is Hostler, Jessel Mohammed, then Ross Cabral, Gabriel Van Osot, Xavier Wiggins, and then the group with Chris Richards Jr., Zico Correa, and Liam Bryden. Still to come in this afternoon. And we see Eden Ali there. He's going to take the next spot. Let's hope it's a good shot. Pushes it up the hill and just again moves off to the left. And he'll have to have a second opportunity to get it into the hole. Irfan Imamli now, he takes his stance to address the ball. Just taking a few practice swings to make sure that he's confident enough before going up to the ball. Pushes it, and just to the left of the hole. Possibly part of the ball will have rolled over the hole, but not a bad shot at all. And they're pointing out something there in the path of the ball. Again, it's a tricky green there on hole number 18. As we can see the light fading a bit in the valley here at St. Andrews Golf Club in Mocha Maraval. And very shortly we'll be seeing another group coming up on hole number 9. The group with Russ Ramkisoon. Watching now Mr. Anthony Spallone. Very good putt there by him. After bringing the ball up the green from the end. A very, very confident shot. And I think that's it. I think that's what we have to do on hole number 18. A nice confident push into the hole, because it does have something happening around there that makes it very difficult to get the ball in. And Mr. Aidan Ali finishes it up and congratulates his teammates there, or his co-players I should say, and again being grateful and thankful to finish off there on hole number 18. As we move over to number 9 green, where Ross Ramkisoon, supported by his caddy Mr. Dravid Bim, chips the ball on very soft hands and stops short of the hole. Probably a little too much backspin. And now has to mark his ball before the other players can hit. And there we see that group there with Ross Ramkisoon finishing up their 18, and I think they'll be relieved that, you know, the day's play was successful. And here we see on fairway number 18, Mr. Jessel Mohammed, one of the more accomplished golfers in Trinidad, and also a golf coach here. He's taking part in the TT Open. He will now take his opportunity to finish off his 18 for the day. And a very tricky shot there. It looks to be between the trees. Looks a very confident shot. Just getting that shot there, coming down fairway number 9, I believe it is. Yes, he's over actually on hole number 1, trying to get it onto green number 9. And the cameraman just focuses on Dravid Wim and Ross Ramkisoon before they walk off to relax. And we are looking at this group here with Mr. Charles Rock, Mr. O'Shea, Javon Andrews and Terry Verdant. They are coming up on fairway number 9 to finish up their day's play. A very cool afternoon here in the valley at 5:24 p.m. and welcome those locked onto the stream. You can follow us tomorrow as well, probably just after lunch. We'll be bringing on the stream to see the grand finale. And picking up now here with Jessel Mohammed on green number 18, talking to his caddy there and trying to read the green as best as he can, looking at the slope looking at the incline, looking at the angles, and probably we here in the commentary booth can give you some tips on how to finish that number 18 green. And if anyone was to ask, I would really see a nice confident push into the hole. It seems to have a little hill. And it'll be exciting to see where the ground staff will be placed in those pin positions tomorrow on the final day. I don't think it's going to be easy. Definitely an opportunity to separate the good players from the best. So we've seen the final groups coming in here at the St. Andrews Golf Club, and when we are coming on to the end of the display, we take an opportunity like the couple there to just relax and enjoy the scenery of this beautiful golf course at St. Andrews. And definitely a course that has been an envy of many persons around the Caribbean, and many persons would want to come here and play. And responsible for that is obviously the ground staff here at St. Andrews Golf Club. And we have the man with us, the golf course superintendent, Mr. Vidat Singh, has just joined us in the commentary booth. Mr. Vidat Singh, welcome to the commentary booth.
Thank you, sir.
So how has it been, this preparation for this prestigious tournament?
Well, first off, I have to say it's a team effort. It is not a one-man show by any means. And you know, a lot of accolades has to go to my team. It is not something that we would prepare for in a week or even a month. It's something that we plan for months in advance and build up to the event so that it comes off the way it has today.
Yes, and I think what you're saying there, your general manager, he was here earlier, Mr. Sean Green, and the first thing he did was actually thank the ground staff. So I guess it was, and he did mention that since November you all would have started preparing for this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, we're already thinking from now what we want to improve on for the next time.
Right.
Because we want to get better every time. You know?
Yes. We've been doing this streaming, this is second year. And I have a big question for you. I don't know if you could let the cat out of the bag, but what is the secret of the greens in St. Andrews?
Well, if I knew, I would have told you.
I always get that answer. I know you know. I know you know, but that's okay. That's the most hidden secret in golf that we can't get out of the bag. But yeah, the greens, I think it's fantastic. You know, we've viewing number 18 green very closely, and we've
Yeah.
seen it to be a very challenging finish. And even from last year, with those pin positions are very, very meticulously put. So I haven't seen the person placing the greens at it. We'll probably have to come here at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Well, the pins were chosen way in advance.
Right.
Because we like to preserve those areas
Right.
from play in the build-up towards the tournament. And that was a team effort in choosing those spots.
Right.
We have the participation of the TTGA as
Right.
well as our own input. Our own pros would have some input in where we place those pins. We have some traditional pins that we do, and of course we choose a couple challenging pins, I would like to call them, and some pins. Today I thought most of the pins were very easy in spots
Yeah.
that allowed you to score.
Right.
And Saturday is referred to as moving day,
Yeah.
so that people who are chasing can catch up to the leader.
Right. Right.
All right.
And I think you mentioned a very important point, because I always say the turning point in this game is on Saturday.
Correct.
And you know, you see it with the scores,
Yeah.
and that really plays a part on your ego a lot as a player. But you see some strong players like Chris Richards Jr., Zico, they hold it for 4 days, and those are the ones you really try to catch and beat. But
Yeah.
but the second day really tells you the story.
Yeah. You separate the men from the boys.
Yeah. And I think the international stature of St. Andrews Golf Club and the history of St. Andrews Golf Club, it's in your hands. You have to retain that magnificent history. How is it done?
We try to share as much as we can. I mean, again, it is a team effort.
Yeah.
All right. There is no secret. I know you think there is, but our philosophy is to try to pass everything on to everybody,
Right.
at least on the team.
Yeah.
So I mean, I may not be here next year.
Yeah.
Somebody else may not be here, but everybody knows what is required, what they have to do.
Right.
You know. So I think everybody on the team shares the information they have, and probably that synergy is what gives us the edge when we prepare the golf course.
And I think that I have to commend you all for that, because we've been here about 4 days. We were setting up on Wednesday,
Yeah.
Thursday, Friday, and today, and you all have given us extremely good support. You, your staff, everyone we spoke to. You all had a lot of senior people on your team as well. You have other young people, and everyone assisted in every single thing. At one point, I thought we were becoming a nuisance, but
Oh,
but,
no.
but you all had really good customer service. So I must commend you and your staff, and that obviously comes from the leadership, from yourself, and probably your superiors. So thank you all so much for that and for hosting us. What is the future for the golf course? Is there any plans to change anything on the course, or is it like, for example, adding a adding a bunker, or
Well, not to give away too much. I mean, there are always plans. I mean, you always want better for your golf course.
right?
We have been talking about changing the type of grass we have on our surface.
Right.
Our greens are approaching 50 years old.
Okay.
Which is, although it's not unheard of,
Yeah.
usually you would plan to change your greens maybe in about 15 to 20 years.
Right.
There are a lot of new varieties out there, new grasses out there that have a much better performance
Mhm.
and would give you a greater quality golf course.
Right.
So a lot of discussions surround changing the grass
Right.
in the future. Can't say when it will happen, but it really would be
Yeah.
a great improvement to the golf course.
Of course, I think that's fantastic, because you're speaking about it. I'm seeing the PGA next door here, and that definitely will
Well,
be something definitely to aim for in the Caribbean.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course.
So I know your day starts very early.
For the team, it starts at 4 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah.
A golf course in its entirety is such a large real estate that you have to manage, and it's funny though, you have to manage almost every blade of grass and every grain of sand.
In a way, yes.
Yeah.
Because golfers will find any little blade of grass
Exactly.
to complain about.
Yes, and we did see it on the live stream today, where golfers just looking down at the ground, picking up a little speck, moving a leaf.
Yeah.
Those little things make a big difference, and I think that you've demonstrated that understanding and that care and concern for golf.
Yeah.
You know, and to keeping the course in such excellent condition. I know you all share a very good relationship with the TTGA, and you know, even us, the sponsors who are here, have excellent, very good reviews to say for us. And even for us being here the second time in Novel Sports Stream Team, we've thoroughly enjoyed it. So, Mr. Vidat Singh, I want to thank you very much.
We're happy to have you.
Yes, and you know, we'll talk again, and thanks again for everything you've done.
No problem. Thank you so much for having me.
No problem. So we're back here at St. Andrews Golf Club with young Zico Correa, one of the top golfers here in Trinidad, youth golfers, but has also represented Trinidad and Tobago on the Latin American Championships and done extremely well. Ably supported by his family in his endeavors in golf and really reaping the rewards of his efforts. And let's see how he finishes off here on hole number 18, playing in an exciting group with Chris Richards Jr. and Liam Bryden. A lot of focus into the shot. Looks a very confident shot. And we can expect the crowd following this group tomorrow being a bit bigger. And he's getting an applause, so our cameraman will pick up the shot just shortly when we get onto the green. And there we have young Chris Richards Jr. as well. And here we have Chris Richards Jr. taking up his approach shot to the green. And I see that definitely something to finish strong, and we know he can do it. And I think they'll be thinking a lot about the final day tomorrow when they finish off here and their strategy for holding that lead and finishing strongly. And I'm sure that, you know, as young golfers, thinking about that world ranking points that they get from these opens is one of the most significant achievements that help them or motivate them to keep playing this 4 days of golf. And for those of you who know Chris Jr., a very, very, very good golfer, excellent skill, and ably supported by his father, Mr. Chris Richards Sr., two top golfers in Trinidad, father and son. As we move over to green number 9. And here we see Liam Bryden with a bunker shot. And there in the background, Mr. Kalam Sukur, one of the TTGA executive members, the PRO, I believe, and one of the officials here at the tournament. Looking on very closely at this group. A very nice shot there coming out of the bunker. Just rolls past. But I think he'll be pleased with that because it was a difficult shot coming out from that bunker. It's a deep bunker. And definitely something to be mindful of when playing that shot. You don't want to overshoot that green and ending up back of the hill. And young Zico Karaya now going to put all his effort into this one. Let's see if his skill can outshine this green. Nice balanced focus stance here by Zico, and a nice confident push. As we've been saying all day, that is what it looks like on the screen. You need a nice confident push, and what a great shot there, as if he's been playing on the screen every single day. Excellent shot, just to the left of the hole, and I think we'll be very pleased of that. And for those of you watching, as we've been saying all day, and I'll tell my friend Mr. Vidat Singh, I think it's a confident push we need on green number 9. I think too often the golfers want to pet the ball a little too easy.
They are afraid.
So yes, they tend to be a bit cautious.
Yeah.
And now we have Chris Richards Jr., the leader in the tournament, finishing up here. I'm sure we will get in his scores when he submits his card to get a good update. Steps up to the ball. Nice roll. Just to the left of the hole. Probably a little shy in playing that shot, but very, very good speed control. Almost in line with the hole there. And we'll probably just tap out to finish off. And Liam Bryden now to finish off his 18. Nice balanced stance. Oh, and just misses the hole there. Maybe a bit disappointed in that, but nothing he can do at this point in time. A bit disappointed there with that last shot. Now Zico to finish off, and probably setting up an interesting final day for this group. And later this afternoon the final scores will come in and be able to see who might be the contenders in each flight to finish off. Should be an easy pot here for Zico. A nice tap in, and I think he'll be pleased with his game today. And they finished their 18, and the usual camaraderie among the players. So good to see them enjoying the game in this stiff competitive TT Open. Yeah. And that brings us to the end of the coverage for day 3 for the TT Open 2023, the 115th edition of this prestigious tournament, again being hosted at the St. Andrews Golf Club here in Mocha Maraval. And it's been a wonderful day, and stay tuned to the leaderboard that's published on the TTGA website, that you can find the scores later this afternoon, and you'll be able to check the scores. The scores are being updated, so later this evening you'll be able to see the individual scores of each player and being able to pick your winners for tomorrow. And we will see you again. So all the best, have a good evening. Signing off here from the Trinidad Tobago Open at St. Andrews Golf Club in Trinidad. Have a good evening.